It's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T. from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Broadcasting here. It's AVTV Live, baby. It's the Jesse T Show. Good to have you along with me. The Brown Beauty is back on duty, manning the controls like I never have before. I've got my claws all over everything. Woo! I feel good about that. I got Mel Novak on the other side of the desk with me. Beautiful, handsome, good-looking, great, evil Mel Novak. Oh, my goodness. Look at you. You look terrific today.
Thank you very much.
And you also had a terrible time getting here, like we all do when we're coming down that 405 freeway.
405 is brutal.
Hey, we're on the air and everywhere from the community to the world here. And we are broadcasting live right now on YouTube Live, Jesse Torrero, The Power of Voices, YouTube, as well as Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero, and on our global radio network of www.thepowerofvoices.com. We'll be streaming out to Periscope, Livestream, Snapchat, Tumblr, Twitter, all those places, but we're going to keep it real simple. KISS, they always say. Keep it simple, silly.
Amen.
Right? Man, you get too complicated and my brain goes, right? Absolutely. You know what I do? Don't tell anybody. When I'm rolling down the 405 freeway, I'm really a bad boy because I get in that diamond lane even when I don't have anybody in my car. Shh. Shit, but I got dark windows, so the police can't see in. I'm really breaking the law. I know. You got to pray for my soul, brother.
There was a lady who was pregnant and got pulled over.
Oh, really?
Went to court.
On that issue?
And, well, she was pregnant. She
right.
says, well, there's two people here.
And what happened?
The judge rolled her down.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he said he was heartless, man. He said
that's right.
No, that's what, look it. You break the law, like Beretta used to say, right? You pay the price, or what was his classic line in his TV series Beretta? It was you do the crime,
you do the time.
You do the time.
That's right.
You suffer the consequences, or you reap the rewards if there are any. And little white crimes like that, you pay the ticket. But that's like a $600 ticket now.
I know. No way I'm going to do that.
Well, when I'm running late and I got to get here, Sometimes I talk my way out of it. I'm going to a TV radio show. You got to watch me, hear me. Sometimes I can talk my way out of it.
That's great.
But anyway, hey, it's good to have you along with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really look forward to it.
Well, we're going to have a great time, and our plan was to play a lot of your videos, but we're having a little bit of challenge with me. I'm challenged impaired right now because normally our IT guy, Lee Baby Michaels, he had to get taken out on a little family emergency today, and so I'm running the board here for like the third time.
You can do it. I know you can.
I feel good. If I can, I'll just do it manually with my phone, like right here, and we'll just do it the old-fashioned way because there's always a way to lick it, right?
That's right.
So Mel Novak, everybody. Now, if you don't know who Mel Novak is, where have you been? Where have you been? You must be living in a glaciatic park somewhere high in the Alps. Because Mel Novak has been around, oh my goodness, he's been around and he's watched Hollywood change from when it was the old studio system all the way to today, and he's done hundreds of movies and films and TVs. His credits are just, I think you got almost 70 credits or something like just in film alone. Just in film alone, that you report. I mean, I'm sure you've done a lot of things.
Yeah, there are some that you don't want to even talk about.
Yeah, right.
Bombs.
Yeah, they were really bad.
But that's okay. It was still, you meet new people, and you get to do something that you really enjoy.
Right.
So I don't.
Yeah, you're acting. You know, Olivier always said that if you're an actor, you've got to be entertaining, you've got to be acting, you've got to be doing your artistic craft all the time. Even if you're not in Shakespeare and you're one of the leads, you still have to be doing something to hone your craft.
I wasn't big on Shakespeare.
No. Really, that wasn't. Classics weren't your thing when you were a younger guy, kind of learning acting and stuff. No, I did a couple of monologues, some soliloquies and stuff like that. But
to be or not to be?
That is a question. Yes, I've been asking that my whole life, to be or not to be. Why am am I here? What am I doing? So I've been after Mel Novak for a couple of years now.
How come you didn't have me on sooner?
Well, you've always been busy. You're working all the time.
Never too busy to come on here, Jesse.
Oh, I appreciate that. Okay, I'll pay you that $17.42, okay? I'll even get royalties going. Shh, don't tell anybody. But no, I know you're working a lot. You work all the time.
I stay busy.
Yeah, you're an actor that works. You're a working actor, and you're doing more work now in your career at this time than you've done before, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I had about 9 films in the last 3 years, a little over 3 years, starring and co-starring.
That is amazing.
I have 3 coming out next year. And I finished.
Mm-hmm.
Tales of Frankenstein. It's going to be a big movie.
Yeah, now, what do you play? I
play a mad scientist.
Oh no! Wait, you play a mad scientist? Oh yeah, sure. Mel Novak, the villain of all villains in almost every movie.
I take the brain out of this detective, and I implant it in my pet gorilla, Gargantus.
Oh, that's classic. Oh,
that Donald Glut directed, and wrote. I really enjoyed working with him.
Wow, that's I can only imagine the guy who's playing the crazy gorilla. He must. That's going to be a fun thing to play.
They get big bucks for that outfit. I mean, it's amazing. But they get like $5,000 to $10,000 a day.
Really?
Even my best friend and manager Joe Williamson set me up with that.
Well, Joe's a great guy,
Oh yeah.
I mean, if there's anybody that can get you at work and get you going in this business,
then When It Rings will be coming out. Sally Kirkland, I
love Sally.
Yeah.
It's good to see her working too. I talked with her back a couple of years ago at Night of 100 Stars. She came through down there for the Academy Awards dinner before the show. And it was great to see her healthy. And she said she was having some things coming up. So I guess this was one of them.
That was one of them.
Wow. Now, what was it like working with Sally Kirkland? I mean, you've worked with so many great people. I mean, it's like, Sally Kirkland is just another great one.
Joe and I were talking that driving down here, from Bruce Lee, Steve McQueen, Chuck Norris, Bill Brenner, Christopher Lee.
I mean, all the great ones that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you look at the breadth of your career and the people you've worked with, that has just been a blessing.
It is.
Because
believe me,
some people, they work a lot, but they don't get the opportunities to work with some people that become really namesakes in this business.
Yeah. It seems like everybody in the world has seen Game of Death.
Everybody.
Bruce Lee's last picture.
Yeah.
And then Black Belt Jones was the 3rd biggest moneymaker.
Jim Kelly was the man. Oh, I love Jim Kelly.
He passed away a year ago.
Wasn't that sad?
Stomach cancer.
Is that what got him?
I played a hitman named Blue Eyes.
Well, obviously, you got those deep blue eyes.
But Robert Klaus directed that.
Great director.
And when I did the reading, I went in a gangster outfit and gangster hat, and I was out there listening, and on the last line, whoever read for that role, it was look at me sweating just like a pig. So I thought, I'm going to do something different. So I grabbed him by this is the director.
Right.
Look at him. He's sweating just like a pig, and I spit on him.
Oh!
He went like this. I beat myself up all the way home. And as soon as I got home, the phone's ringing, and Oscar Williams was the writer and the casting, and he's laughing. He says, man, he loved you. You got the part. But after the first day of shooting, someone said, Mel Novak, producer and director want to see you. And I said, why? He said, I don't know, but they said, hurry up. So I'm thinking, so I walked in and I said, did I do something wrong? They said, no, you did everything right, but your crime partner can't handle dialogue. We want to know if we can give you his dialogue. And I go, give him all the dialogue you want. So 2/3 through the picture, Klaus loved my work. I did my fights and stunts in there. And he said, I'm going to take you to Hong Kong with me. We're going to do the Game of Death with Bruce Lee. Oh. That's how I got that role.
Wow.
Raymond Chow, the executive producer, they wanted some big name for that role. Andre Morgan. And Klaus said, no. You had Academy Award winners, Gig Young. What was the old Dean Jagger?
Yeah, that's right.
So 2 weeks into the shooting, they both came to me and said, we were wrong. You are a stick. And if you ever watched the picture, when I had the matchstick.
Oh, you had that stick. That was like.
Yeah, but see, I changed the color to match my outfit. That was my idea.
You see,
and he
those
loved
little
it.
things that bring the character, you as the actor, those little things is what really matters in film. And it really makes you connect with the character, and then we can connect with you.
But they did. They had from the United States, they flew a guy out to help people with their character.
Right.
After the first day, he came to me and said, "Look, there's nothing I can tell you. You got this locked."
Wow.
And that was just to focus,
Yeah, through the whole game of death, folks, Mel Novak, he was in the Bruce Lee's last movie. In fact, Bruce Lee didn't even finish that movie. He had passed away before the end of the movie, under a lot of controversy and stuff. We're not going to get into a lot of Bruce Lee talk here because we always do. But Bruce Lee and the people that I have spoke to, like Gene LaBelle, when he did the Green Hornet series, and he told Bruce Lee, "You got to slow down because my stunt people can't keep up with you."
That's true.
That's a true story. And
that's where I met him.
Bruce Lee was really explosive, like lightning. That's what they say.
Lightning. Yeah, there'll never be another one. Never has been. Never will be.
No, if it was MMA today and at his weight class, he would be champion for a long time in his weight class.
Well, when I met him, he was like looking at me. So I'm going, "What?" He goes, "You have a villain's face." I said, "I knew that." Little did he know that I was going to be the villain in his last movie.
That is kind of hocus pocus, eerie. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
What was it like working on that set after Bruce had passed away? Because they had to finish the movie afterwards.
Yeah.
Because he shot, correct me if I'm wrong, they shot out of sequence like they do with all films, but they shot a lot of the fight scenes first.
Yes.
But the dramatic scenes had to be done later and filled.
Yeah.
How was
that was difficult for people, but I never let green screens or anything bother me. I was always focused.
Right.
And discipline.
Uh-huh.
And that's why it came out really well.
So that's really the key, is the focus in film, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's like
concentration.
You and that camera there.
Yeah, you're another person.
Mm-hmm.
I played a lot of different roles in my career, not just the villain. Even though I love playing villains, I've died, I think, 21 times.
It's funny to hear you say that. I mean, that you've died over 20 times. Even though it's play acting, it's playtime, but it's still funny. Yeah, man, I've died over 20 times. That means you know how to die.
In Expert Weapon, when I died, for some reason the director did it on a close-up, and I had one tear come down.
Oh wow,
that was cool.
That was very
Coolio.
Cool. Yeah, very, very cool.
But it's a thing of, I always, whatever they were, I wanted to find something different, unique about them. I'd write a background and biography on my characters.
Right.
And, in real life, I don't go out killing people, but I sure killed a lot of people.
Well, I saw you in a couple of last year, the Syndicate Smasher. You were killing everybody in that thing.
Yeah, I liked that one.
I mean, that was cold-hearted killing. That wasn't even thought. That was like, walk by the guy.
Yeah, that was, I used 7 different guns in that. My favorite was the Uzi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like when those Yakuzas killed my girlfriend, I went the next day, I got him.
Yeah.
And what was funny was, in the day, I killed all 4, but in the day after, I had a service at the L.A. County Jail.
Right.
So, and I told him, I said, "Listen, I got to tell you something." I said, "I don't like those Yakuzas. In fact, I killed 4 of them yesterday." And then I paused for like 3 or 4 minutes. You can say, "What did he say? The chaplain killed somebody?"
Yeah, a lot. Right. Yeah.
And I said, "But I use blanks."
Yes.
I keep telling you guys, you use real bullets. You're going to penitentiary. I'm going home. And one of the dudes said, "You're funny, man."
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know that you're a minister. You're an ordained minister, correct?
Yes.
And you
a lot of years
for decades, you've gone into the prison system and preached the word of God to the prisoners.
33 years in prisons and 35 years on Skid Row, which is a prison without bars.
Yeah, well, that is the prison of alcoholism and drug addiction and abuse and
worse than ever.
And failure in water and nutrition and cleanliness, and it's worse now than ever before because they're all getting pushed into one area as downtown LA explodes and expands in rehab.
And we got 63,000 people.
Isn't that an amazing concept? Would you have ever thought 40 years ago? I wouldn't have that there would be 63,000 people. I work closely with the human trafficking. I'm a co-director, well, actually the director now of the Coalition Against Human Trafficking in Los Angeles, and we've had the opportunity to save, half a dozen teenage girls and little boys and girls from that awful sex slave trafficking.
I know that is.
It's epidemic levels.
Demonic and listen, if you ever need a speaker, all you can do is let me know.
Well, I'm going to let you know, and that's still going on. So we're still okay with that.
Okay,
that should be okay. Yeah, we're still rolling. Sometimes that'll go out. See the
roll them.
Keep them doggies rolling. Ride.
Do you know that the lead actor on that? He was doing an independent movie, and it was like a river that was going really fast. They had a stuntman. His dog could handle it, and he drowned.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sad. I mean, real nice guy.
My grandfather was hired in 1938 at Warner Brothers by Jack Warner, and that was before the Los Angeles River, the cement river that was put in there, and Forest Lawn wasn't there, and the little train exposition they have wasn't. That was all Warner Brothers' first backlot, and Betty Davis lived on one side of that lot, way over yonder. None of those houses were there at that time in the 30s, and the river was a natural running river, and it ran all year long. People don't realize that, and that's where they shot all of those stagecoaches running through the water and the horses and all the cowboy westerns and a lot of stuff in there.
And the Duke.
Yeah.
Well, that's right, Pilgrim.
You do a pretty good impression of him.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites.
No, just a great I got a chance to work on The Shootist when I was that was my first.
That's when he had cancer and played a guy who had cancer.
I mean,
I'm a cancer survivor.
Are you really? I didn't know that.
I had prostate cancer, and my PSA was up to 34, and the doctor told me, "You're dead. You're a dead man walking." I refused chemo. I refused radiation, and God healed me. The only thing I did was high-intensity frequency ultrasound.
Right.
The only thing. And I just, every 3 months I get a PSA test.
Right.
Which I encourage anybody out there.
Right.
You're 40 or over, because women have breast cancer, men prostate cancer.
Right.
And my last one was 0.2.
It's amazing, isn't it? How God works in mysterious
ways. And I
ways.
still have my prostate. I didn't have it taken out.
Yeah, the chemo would have just destroyed your insides.
I saw what it did to my mother and other people.
Yeah, it's
poison.
It is toxic. It's very poisonous to your body. Your body, in fact, gets hurt by it. And it kills all the good guys in your body too.
I'll support somebody who's taking it with prayer and whatnot, but for me to do it, I told my daughter, no way.
Yeah, if we drink with the right water and we don't toxify our bodies and we live a good life and we eat properly, your body is a temple that will take care of you. It's designed to take care of you and heal itself.
Well, fortunately, I never did drugs. I never drank.
Neither
I'm Serbian.
Brother. Yeah.
My real name is Milan Marjanovic.
I like that name.
And
Marjanovic.
Remember in Syndicate Smasher?
Yeah.
They wanted to give me some name. I don't want that name. What do you want? Milan. That's my real name.
That was your name, right.
So the Russians, the Chinese Tong, the Mafia, and the Yakuza all trying to kill Milan.
Yeah.
But
that movie certainly had every ethnicity in it. I mean, everybody was trying to kill everybody. They were all trying to kill you.
Yeah. That was a fun role.
Yeah, it's fun to, I know you play a lot of bad guys, but you play good guys too in your career. You've had a lot of movies where you've been a hero.
Yeah, Giants, I helped save the world.
Right.
But the Giant Ants.
Yeah.
And then I played the President of the United States in Power Elite. So I wasn't always a villain.
You weren't always a bad guy. Is there a difference between a bad guy and a good guy when you approach the role? And what makes it different? The background preparation of that.
Well, with the bad guy, I was trying to find some redeeming thing in his life. Like maybe he's a vicious killer, but maybe there's a cat. He has a pet cat, and he's petting it, or on a horse or whatever.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Whereas the good guy, I always zero in for the heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is, you know, I always say the devil attacks the mind, heart, and emotions, but God knows our heart, Luke 16:15. And this is where you got walking wounded everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is what I do. I bring something that the directors really, really like. And
it's sort of it's a connection to your heartstrings that comes through your eyes, and you feel it inside some that the hero has, because a hero wants to save the world and save the thing that he's being put up against.
And I use my eyes a lot when I act.
Yeah, you do.
You
They
know,
do a lot of that. Yeah,
they know there's
you.
something happening there. When I listen, you know, the key is you got to listen what somebody's saying,
right,
and respond, react.
Well, as in my trade here too, you have to listen, especially the way the Jesse T show goes. I mean, we just kind of turn it on and we go, and there is some degree of knowledge of what you're talking about and everything, but you're really listening to your guest and responding and talking, and that's the hardest thing, and that's what film is about, conversation. You know.
Yeah, I learned it. You know, I used to give private acting lessons. That's what converse.
Right.
I says, go get the Bible, read it out loud, and so someone in the other room could think you're talking
to somebody.
Yeah,
that's actually really a great clue. So for all you people that are just starting out there, or it doesn't matter where you are in your career, read the Bible as that book or any good book, and treat it as if you were just talking with a guy at the park.
Forget the punctuation.
Yeah, and
repeat. I mean, it's just to be, you know, normal.
Voiceovers. That's what we learned in voiceovers. Yeah, well, it's just I've done that my whole life, but they teach in voiceover class. You know, don't sound like an announcer, right, and all that. Just sound like yourself, because they're actually just looking for you,
and not overact. Like I underplay most everything.
Yeah, you have to do that in film and TV and cable,
especially
don't you?
as a villain. I don't have to scream, "I'm going to kill you." Right. I just look at you.
Yeah,
and
there it is, right there. Yeah,
they know.
Look don't kill me, okay?
But I have to.
Oh, well, if you do it, would you do it fast and efficient and
clean?
Yes,
your right eye.
Thank you very much. Yes, Mama T will like you for that. Thank you. Actually,
yeah, you know, at the county jail last year, we had 2 stabbings in a church service in 12 days.
Yeah, at church.
In the church service, and they tried to cut the jugular. So I had a service 3 days later, and I told them, listen, I know you all heard about the stabbing, so any of you come at me to shank us, I'm going to take your eye out, then I'm going to repent. Nobody said boo, because I don't turn my cheek.
No.
You got to let them, they can smell fear in those places.
Well,
and,
that's their trade.
It's
look for victims.
You know, when I started out in prison, there were 750,000 men and women, more than anywhere in the world. Today, you got over 7 million. You got 14 million on parole.
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on?
There's big money in the prison industry. Come on, the related industries, you have the legal industry that feeds it. You have the security and police industry that feed it. You have all of the industries that feed the social services, psychological, parole, physiological, medical. Everything feeds off of the legal system. In fact, the legal system in the United States of America is one of the largest employers of work. And so it's money. It's just pure and simple. And return people that come back more than once or twice or 3 times, there's more money. They want them to come back. They shake them. Yeah.
Almost 83% return.
Yeah. The recidivity rate is so high.
The ones I led to the Lord, 11% return. So what is that telling you?
Well, it tells you that goodness always prevails over evil.
Yeah.
If you accept goodness and you accept it wholeheartedly and completely. But that's the hardest thing for so many people, is to understand that you have to give of yourself to receive the gift.
Yeah. You know, when I go into those real nasty prisons like Pelican Bay, I check these guys out who had murdered, and I talk to them, watch how they walk, and I get some tips that most actors won't get, because they won't go into those places.
Yeah, they get afraid. So you actually get how they move, and that makes the part actually really real in that respect.
One guy said, "Well, what did you feel like when you shot this guy? You know, did you have remorse? Was there any?" And you got people with no conscience, man.
Oh no,
I had to take him out.
No, there's no conscience.
They tell me stuff that they don't normally tell anybody.
Yeah,
they
can
for some reason God gives me favor, and it's like a fruitful place for me to get tips.
Yeah,
for the roles I play, because I play one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm just going to go over some of your filmography here.
Sure.
And just give me like one or two lines of what you remember from some of the films that made sense to you. Now, one of my all-time favorite films of all time, Steve McQueen film, one of his last ones.
Yeah.
I loved him in Bullet. I loved him in The Great Escape. I loved him in all his movies, right? But one of my favorite ones was Tom Horn.
Yeah.
And what are your recollections of Tom Horn with Steve McQueen?
Well, he wanted me to play the sheriff, which is a co-starring role, but the director had worked with him before.
Mm-hmm.
And so he told me, I can't really step over that. But 2 weeks later, he fires the director. And I get a call from Fred Weintraub and said, Steve just fired 3 actors, and he told me to call you to come. It was 3 in the afternoon. Your plane leaves at 6. Yeah, but where's the dialogue? And that was tough, because when I got there, they didn't have it. So on the way to Tucson Ranch, I'm working, and I got it locked down.
Right.
In the wardrobe, the guy comes in, Mel Novak, Steve McQueen and the new director want you to play this other role, the one with all the dialogue.
Oh, gee, right.
And hurry up, we're going to start.
Sounds like a soap opera. You know, they give you scripts at night when you go home, and you come in the morning at 6 o'clock call. Totally different.
But he had that charisma, and he knew what everybody was doing, and I loved the guy. I ministered to him when he was dying from cancer.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
That's beautiful.
And the documentary was the
I missed that. I wanted to get
biggest
down there.
money maker for that day. And you had the big mega movies, and he came to the Lord 7 years before he died.
That's good.
7 months before.
Just a fantastic actor, and all the stories and all the stuff I've read about him. I never had the opportunity to meet him.
And in the book, Greg Laurie and Marcel Terrell did the book for the
right. You just recently
Icon.
did the special presentation down south. Yeah, the red
carpet at Newport. It was
and
awesome.
Of course, Joe didn't invite me, Joe. Come on, Joe. What's wrong with you, huh? You forgot about your guy here? I love you, baby.
Mel had to beg to get a ticket off Marshall himself for me.
Yeah, they were
tight on security.
Yeah.
Are having the encore presentation October the 19th. In 800 theaters.
Where it's going to be? So it's going to be everywhere.
800 theaters nationwide, and Mel's in it.
Yeah, you're in it.
Mel Gibson's in it. Gary Sinise narrates it.
Wow. See, I wanted to be down there for that event so badly. I just couldn't. I couldn't make it.
And in the book, I'm on page 222, 23, 24, 20, all the way to 230.
You threw the whole thing.
But it was cool that they did that.
Yeah. Well, you were an impact in his life, obviously. I mean,
One time I was in it, he had a cough that gave you chills.
Yeah.
And
was that from the smoking and things like that?
Asbestos and the smoking.
The asbestos,
and
yeah.
And he said, I use a lot of scriptures. He said, you sound like my pastor. I said, well, Steve, we read the same book. But that was a hit, big time.
Yeah.
So
Tom Horn, what a great movie! I was so sad at the movie when they had to hang him.
I know. That was his. See, it wasn't supposed to be like that.
No, Tom Horn didn't die that way historically.
But Steve wanted it to be that way.
Yeah, and it was such a great character. Of course, I do have to talk about Black Belt Jones. We touched on it because Jim Kelly was one of my. I'm a martial arts expert too. I studied Wing Chun Kung Fu for probably about 30 years or so.
Wow.
Boxing and wrestling when I was younger and could take the abuse.
You ain't old till you're cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on. And but Jim Kelly growing up, I loved Bruce Lee, but Jim Kelly had such the greatest antics and his body was so hard and he was so cool. He was so cool. So cool. And I love Jim Kelly and Black Belt Jones. Once again, I never had the opportunity to meet Jim Kelly. But what were your recollections working on that movie? You played sort of part of a mafioso team.
Yeah. I was a hitman named Blue Eyes.
Right.
And the fight in the car wash where the suds was up to here.
Yes.
Robert Klaus left my fight scene in slow motion, yet you had all the martial artists, you had the stunt people. Mine was so real. I was the athlete.
Right.
And I always hung out with the stunt people. And so I was supposed to fly through the air, and there was a big mattress waiting. Well, somebody moved the mattress.
Oh, no.
And when I hit that concrete, my elbow cracked a rib.
Oh, boy. And this was before they tied you up to cables like they do now with everybody. When they fly anybody through there, they have you on cables and a harness so it doesn't happen. Man, you just... Yeah.
And that's funny. That night I had a date with this gorgeous lady, and I could hardly... It was all taped up. Don't hug me.
So the dancing was out that night, right? No dancing that night.
No.
Mel made the poster of that, too. That was the third highest grossing movie Warner Brothers had out that year.
Yeah. Hey, let me see it. Bring it over here, because I'm going to have a little challenge putting stuff via the system on. So I'm going to do it like the old-fashioned way, the way we used to do things before things. See, I'm going to show it off like this. Watch. Yeah. There it is. Black Belt Jones. I love that movie. One of my all-time favorite movies.
That's me up there with the gun.
You're right up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another great movie that I enjoyed watching. Another one I don't know if a lot of people have seen this movie, but you tell me. I mean, I loved it. It was called Future War. It was sort of like a video. You were on a SWAT team. This was done in the late 1990s, and this was a movie that I saw it and I thought, is that Mel Novak?
You know what? That was a really bad experience because the guy was a stunt coordinator, and David Huey let him direct first time. Didn't know what he was doing, and he got literally so far behind. I had so much stuff that they couldn't do, and I called David. David Huey was in Florida, and I told him, you know what? I'm going to deck this guy. I said, if I have to go through this, where this scene's cut out, that scene cut out, I would have never done it.
Right.
And so that was not a good.
Yeah. Well, when I saw it, I said, that's what I said. It's like, is it Mel Novak? I mean, it's not typical of what he had done before.
No.
That guy made Ed Wood look like George Lucas.
Ed Wood, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Of course, you did a whole bunch of them. Vampire Assassin.
That was a fun role. I played this, really rich guy he was a vampire with a big mansion and whatnot.
I could see you playing a vampire. Look at that. I'm telling you, Halloween's coming up. It's scaring me right there, man. You want to come over to my house and scare some kids?
He co-starred with Ruby Ray Moore and that mutual friend of yours, Gerald Okanaka.
Yes.
Taken by
Gerald.
Gates.
Yeah.
I did about 5 movies with Gerald, and one of them, he's coming around the corner. I got this 2x4 follow. You're supposed to break away.
Right. I saw that.
And
clip.
I hit him in the head so hard, somebody didn't put the breakaway. And poor Gerald, his eyes are rolling.
Yeah.
And I cut the scene. I said, Gerald, are you all right? I'm sorry. They gave me the wrong 2x4. Someone said he cut the scene. I said, shut up. I'm worried about this guy getting hurt. What is the matter with you?
When you do when you're around a long time and you're doing scenes and you got these great memories, I mean, it really is an exciting career.
Oh, yeah.
You get to do things and pretend and go places.
Oh,
and stuff that normal folks don't ever have the opportunity.
Plus playing someone that you really was not me, like in Cat in the Cage.
Yeah.
Sybil Danning. I closed the door.
I love Sybil Danning.
I was the chauffeur.
Yeah.
Closed the door and my finger stuck in the door.
Oh gosh.
I yank it out. I get through the scene with all the dialogue. As soon as they said cut, I start screaming because it turned purple.
Yeah, sure.
And the director said, Tony Zarandas, I can't believe you did it. You can finish the scene. I said, I'm a pro.
Got to do what you have to do.
But
there was no take two.
No.
It was like 14 takes and your finger's like the size of a baseball bat, right?
Yeah.
Sybil Danning, how was it like working with her?
I had a great love scene with her.
I know. I know. And you
listen to what Joe's going to tell you.
You guys wrestled around a little bit and had some fights, and in that
Oh
film.
yeah, I cuffed her a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Sybil was great.
Doesn't it just make you sick today? What's happening with the perversity in Hollywood?
Well, number one,
It's just disgusting, isn't it?
I never did nudity. I raised two daughters, since they were 7 and 10, and I don't use God's name in vain. He doesn't have a last name. If he did, it wouldn't be damn.
Right.
I had 10 throat surgeries in 10 years. Just to be able to speak. There's no money you can give me to do that.
Right. No.
So,
yeah.
but, it's like in Vampire, in Syndicate Smasher, remember, I told the director, Benny, we don't want to do nudity.
Right.
She was nervous, and I said that she doesn't want her tits seen. I said I don't want to either. And I said let's do it this way. She said on my lap or dialogue, kiss her 3 or 4 times, bend her over, cut.
Yeah, I miss the imagination of a scene in the audience's mind.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the
No.
fulfillment of the act. If I'm going to do that, then I want to see maybe a different type of genre, but I don't, the imagination is what I think an audience, it's like reading a book, you don't see it, but you imagine what's going to happen. And that, I do miss that in Hollywood and script writing. And especially what's happening with Weinstein today, all that stuff, that terrible. And
He's dead in the industry.
No, not only that, he's got a lot of making up to do with himself and his soul and God and everything.
Yeah, he needs to repent.
You know how many people he hurt on his way up, dreams he smashed, and things just... That's what hurts me about it. The dreams of the young people that bypassed him or went through him, that he smashed and devoured and didn't care.
And he had a gorgeous wife.
Beautiful.
She left.
Yeah, darn right. I would if I was a woman.
Oh, yeah, she's...
come on. Samurai
loved
Cop
him,
2. Samurai Cop 2. The whole Samurai Cop stuff is fun because the first one, of course, was...
20 years.
Yeah, and it is it's like Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's like one of those kind of shows, right? But then Samurai Cop 2 came out about 2 or 3 years ago, and that actually did pretty good.
No, it was about 2 years, Joe?
Yeah. You did that with Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Disaster Artist.
Yeah, that must have been fun to relive, because now you're playing in a film that's sort of one of those, like I said, like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Everybody loves it, and it'll be there forever. Samurai Cop 1 and Samurai Cop 2, I think, held its own.
Yeah, Gregory Hatanaka, who directed and produced it, he wanted me to be more flamboyant, and a couple of things is like, are you sure? And I walked in, I was an FBI guy.
Right.
And... good morning, my darlings. And I'm thinking, oh, Lord.
Right.
But Tommy, actually, after the screening, he came up to me and said, listen, when you were on screen, I couldn't take my eyes off you. I'm going to be directing a picture. I want you in it. I said, sure, but I haven't heard from him since.
Well, hey, come on, Tommy. What's going on
That's
here?
right, Sodbuster.
Give him a call. What's up here? Do we have to send the guys over to get you or what?
Or send Joe over.
That's right. We'll send the big guy. The big guy will come knocking on your door. Huh? And he's not going to be serving any pizza linguine either.
But that was like one of the #1 grossing indie action movies of
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of...
Samurai Cop.
Joe was telling me on the film, the meter thing, it was just rocking the world on the meters. It's still,
Yeah, he said, Gregory... said, I'm gonna do the third sequel. He says, and I want you to have a starring role. I said, yeah, but I got killed. He says, then you get resurrected like Jesus.
Hey, in film they can do anything.
That's right.
Just the Star Trek series will tell you that they can bring back anybody from anything.
But yeah, Samurai Cop was kind of like the Sharknado of martial art action movies.
It's great. I love it. Checkpoint. That's Thomas Churchill, right?
Yeah,
Checkpoint.
that's right. He was incredible.
With Goldberg, right?
Yeah.
Forsythe and
Everybody.
Yeah, I worked
William
with
Forsythe. Yeah,
William Forsythe.
What a terrific
great actor. Great actor.
I saw him in the Bronx Bull, Martin Gigi film, The Bronx Bull, and he had the lead role to play.
He's the boxer.
Yeah,
I just saw that recently.
And
he's excellent.
Yeah,
I've never seen him do anything that was bad.
No, he's
always there. He had to focus. For one time, Thomas Churchill, director.
Yeah,
I loved him.
He's great director.
And he said to Forsyth, "Okay, this is what I want you to do over." Forsyth turned around, walked away. I would never do that. I mean, I just, that's not
you.
No.
Right. Everybody has their own. Yeah.
Tom got ticked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Tom's a Italian guy from kind of a little bit of Italian and Jewish, I think, from the East Coast.
Yeah,
so,
New York, yeah.
But yeah, Checkpoint's doing good. It's on Netflix.
It's great. Yeah, I saw it. It's terrific. Yeah, I bought it.
I had a 4-page monologue cut.
Yeah.
And this producer, Perez, and there was another scene. He says to me,
excuse me,
they're taking pictures of it. He says, "You one of those born-again Christians?" I says, "Yeah, why?" "Well, so's my mother and father. I don't like them, and I don't like anybody who's a Christian."
He actually came up and said that to you?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know how you held your temper, my friend.
Well, because Joe doesn't want me to embarrass him.
Well, Joe, I don't know how you held him back, because someone did that to me, and a man of faith. Are you kidding me?
There's a lot of racism against Christians. It's
yeah,
disgusting.
it really is. And faith-based films are becoming more and more popular. In fact, some of the highest-grossing overall films, faith-based music and faith-based films are coming up. Everybody's starting to do them now.
Yeah.
Documentary Mills, and with Mel Gibson, Steve McQueen, American Icon, it's made $3 million at the box office. So, number 3, right behind Kingman. And
so I think the tide is changing, because people in America, especially America, their hearts have a big hole in it.
I'm waiting for the Christian producer and director to hire me. I want to do those.
I think that'd be great to hire Mel Novak. Absolutely.
And when it rings,
you're doing.
I didn't kill anybody.
Right.
I didn't die.
Yeah.
And there was a scene where my wife and 2 kids had died in the fire, and I cried.
Yeah,
4 different angles.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
You like acting? Is it something that you wanted to do from a child on, or did you come to it haphazardly?
I came to California when I got out of high school. I had 60 football scholarships, major universities all over the country.
What position?
Flanker.
Yeah.
And defense back.
Wow.
And I was a kicker. I led the country in kicking.
Man.
And I signed a contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and almost a year and a half
You're
later,
a baseball player too.
I'm a cripple. They butchered me. I got an 18-inch scar. And
rotator cuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was massive.
Especially that time.
At that time, they took my arm apart.
Keep throwing, yeah.
So I got tired of people saying, "You should have done this. You could have been in pro football. Look at you now. You're a cripple." Before I hurt somebody, I came to California, not for acting, and I got a job at an insurance company. One of the gals says, "You really look great in clothes. My cousin's a modeling agent. Would you like to meet her?" Sure.
Oh, really?
So I started modeling.
You came it by that way?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then one of the agents, they had me go to an acting school. That's how it all started.
Right.
And the first big TV show was Mannix. I played a hitman.
I loved Mannix. I love the intro.
Elsa Lanchester, Abe Vigoda.
I loved Abe Vigoda.
Oh, he was such a nice man.
I love the role in The Godfather. The one scene when he knows he's going to be killed, whacked, because he backstabbed the family, and he walks out to the car and the guys, and he looks at Tommy, goes, "Tommy, is there anything you can do here? Anything?" And Tommy, and of course, Duvall says, "No, I'm afraid not." And he goes, "Okay." I just love that scene for him. I thought that, because in his eyes right there, it said everything.
It's in the eyes. It's
everything.
in the eyes.
Yeah.
And this is what, thank God I learned that, as I started out. And then with camera technique and Stacey Harris, Michael Pate, Biff Elliott, they had the Screen Actors Studio. And Stacey said I had the best notes he ever seen in 40 years in Hollywood. So it's crucial. That's why the cinematographers always liked me, because I knew my camera technique. And it didn't take away from the performance. It's like you make love to that camera.
So now we have a couple of things here. Mel Novak, Soldier for Christ. We have a
I give that to the inmates and people on Skid Row. That's putting your spiritual armor on. My website's www.melnovak.com.
There's some great things in here too. When you open up, there's some scripture in here too. One of the things that you know scripture.
Oh yeah,
you know scripture because when I hear you speak and I hear you talk when you're doing your lectures and you scripture's coming off.
I'm going to be held accountable more than 3 times more than normal Christians because I speak, counsel, pray, and minister. So I don't want to tell them something I think it's my what I think. No, right. I just give them that's the one with you can see the trailer on Syndicate Smasher on YouTube.
Yeah, Yul Brenner.
Yul Brenner, loved him. I had the second toughest stunt in the whole movie, and it was they made me an honorary stuntman. Bobby Vass.
Did you do all your own stunts and fight scenes?
Yeah,
coming up.
And because I was an athlete and I used to hang out with those guys.
Yeah.
And I learned, like in that Bruce Lee fight, that was from 8 at night to late in the morning in the rain.
That's amazing. I mean,
and there were some real good stunt guys there that they looked out for me. And Yul Brenner, that was his last movie. Remember,
he
had
died of cancer too.
Yeah, he had that commercial. Says, when you see this commercial, I'll be dead because of lung cancer. Smoking kills.
Yeah, I loved Yul Brenner.
Yeah, when I did that fight and that stunt, and I finished it, which I had a lit torch, I had to fall. I thought it was 6 feet, but when you're 6'2", you're falling 12 feet too.
Yeah,
and and there was a 2 by 2 foot. Inch of 2-inch balsa wood,
right?
And a little pebble was my mark. I had to go in face first, turn at the last second with a lit torch. Then you go down another 6 feet with concrete there, and sand's coming down. Because I remember when the night before, the stunt coordinator had me do it on the bubble,
right?
This torch wasn't lit. Where's the torch, Mel? It was between my legs.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm thinking, so all the way home, I'm going, torch out. Lord, I got a big mouth. I shouldn't have told him I could do it. But Yul Brenner was up there with everybody. They gave me a standing O. He was going, bravo.
Love Yul Brenner,
that was cool.
And The King and I went, and Magnificent Seven. I so many, Jim.
Him and Steve.
Oh, yeah, Magnificent
McQueen,
Seven.
They were going back and forth on that.
I bet they were trying to upstage each other.
And McQueen did upstage.
Oh, come on.
When Yul Brenner had the dialogue, Steve McQueen was going in the side, isn't it?
Funny. Go.
When Mel did Ultimate Warrior, he was covered with 35 live rats?
40.
Or 40.
Oh, gee.
They put sunflower seeds and peanut butter on me.
They had rats eating food off of you?
It was.
Let me call you when I need an exterminator for one of my apartment complexes, okay? I'm hiring you.
They had the same rats from Ben and Willard. Big ones.
Yeah, the big ones. Oh, yeah.
Their tails were bald, ugly.
Oh, gosh. All right, so we have Tales of Frankenstein. That's in post-production right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and you play Dr. Moriarty. Then we have Dragon to Dragon. That's interesting a name, and you're filming that now. It's in production, right?
Oh, no, that's still in development.
Still in development?
I'm signed for it, yeah.
Okay, you have Cadillac Respect. Hey, I like the name of that.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I did that whole thing without blinking. Because, you got people going like this or eyebrows going up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah. Well, you got to learn to control your face.
Yeah. And be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make love to that camera.
When it rings, that's in post-production now?
Yeah.
That's coming out?
And that's one Sally Kirkland.
Yeah. And can't wait to see that.
Tyrone 10.
I
love Tyrone.
Yeah.
Producing. And the director said to me, man, I can't believe it's my first time directing, and I'm directing a legend, Mel Novak.
Oh, absolutely.
I said, nah, it's okay. Don't worry about that.
Come on, you are a living legend, man. Absolutely. You've been around for so long, and you've got so many experiences. So we're just touching a few nuances of your career and your life. And I want to talk real quickly. I want to go over you've got, correct me if I'm wrong, craniosacral?
Oh, that's also in development, too.
It's in development, too?
I'm signed for all these pictures.
Right, I know. Yeah. And banned, exploited, and blacklisted.
Oh, yes, that Shane Ryan's story. That's
Okay.
Also in,
All right.
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, Hardway Heroes.
Yeah, that I played a delicious. I played this hitman named
Superfly.
Superfly.
Yeah,
Superfly. You got to have some Curtis Mayfield in there. Superfly.
Yeah, I had all my I got a lot of custom suits with the gangster hats.
Oh, cool, man.
It was really.
You look good in it. You look good to play in that part with the hat. And
I loved that.
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's talk about ministries real quick. We're running out of time, but we just
The
got
hour
someone
gone
going.
by already?
Yeah, it's already. We got a few more minutes.
Wow.
But I love the fact that you're giving back to the community and you're ministering goodness and love and peace and helping folks that really need some help, some nourishment for their spiritual life. And that's got to be really satisfying for you.
It is, and it's also very difficult. Sometimes there are times I've came home from Skid Row and just sat down and cried.
Right.
And you see the devastation of what...
Because you can't, there's just only so much one man can do, you know?
They call me the mayor of Skid Row.
Because you're down there so much working with the folks?
It's been 35 years.
Yeah.
And it's a miracle that I lasted this long, not only in ministry, but in films.
Right.
Joe and I were talking how some people... They just disappear.
Yeah, well, because they're not centered, I think, and the true passion of someone's art will last a lifetime, whether or not they're doing it in front of the camera, behind the camera, or for a painting or not a painting for somebody to buy or not, because an artist continues to create.
Yeah, be a Picasso.
What a guy told me a long time ago, I didn't get the part to play Richie Valens' brother in La Bamba. Asai Morales.
Yeah, Asai,
What a great actor. And he beat me out. We were the last two reading for that. And,
wow.
And when I walked out into the waiting room, Asai was there, and I went, oh, gee, well, great. Yeah, the guy's Juilliard, New York Acting School, Broadway. I'm not going to get, I didn't get it. But that was cool. I read for it, but I got kind of bummed. And Cy Richardson, I don't know if you know Cy Richardson, another great character actor for 40 years. He's Morgan Freeman cheap. When they don't want to pay Morgan Freeman the big money, they pay Cy pretty good money. But he said basically, if you're going into the entertainment business as an actor, I'd already been on radio and commercials and TV for a long time, but as an actor, if you're going in for money, then why don't you become a plumber, because you'll be more successful.
Yeah.
And with that, you really realize that, if you aren't doing it for the right reasons, you're not going to last.
That's right. Because God always took care of my needs, not my greeds. Philippians 4:19.
That's right.
And Mel we get scripts submitted to Mel all the time.
Right.
So
we're going to see you.
Busy,
there you are.
And I turned down.
Joe Williamson, everybody. Joe Williamson.
Thanks.
My best bud. I turned down 5 pictures in the last 3 years.
Actually, this year I think it was 5 or 6 scripts he's turned
I'm
down.
not gonna compromise my walk.
No,
I can't be an ordained minister.
No,
like in a lot of the movies. I played villains, but I got shot in the end.
Right,
or got killed.
Yeah, you paid the price for your deeds in the film. Right.
I raised 2 daughters.
Yeah,
and people who know me, I can't violate that trust. But mainly with God, I'm not going to do it.
I can relate to that. I was 34 years old, and I left the industry completely. I shut the door in the entertainment business, and that wasn't too far after I didn't get La Bamba. I was 32 then, but I was actually 29. I stuck around I left the entertainment business, all facets of it. And I'm a real estate broker and a loan officer for many, many decades. And because I had my daughter, my son was on the way. Married to Mama T, for 28 years now. And I've known her since I was 15. For 43 years, she's been in my life. And
wonderful.
And I didn't want to detract from being a dad and a husband and a provider. I didn't want to get sidetracked. And so I had to make the choice to leave. At 50, I made the choice. My kids are older now, and everything's different. I made the choice to come back to the entertainment industry at 50, 7 years ago. So,
See, with my daughters, when my ex-wife left us, I quit acting for 2.5 years to get healed, but also to be there for my daughters, love them unconditionally, never lied to them, never broke a promise. I was voted Mother of the Year to brownies.
Ah, right on, man. Why not, huh? When your mom and your dad, actually, those roles are the same. The only difference is that a woman bears life and a man starts life. But other than that, why not? You're still nurturing and love your child.
I used to go to the Ralph's or somewhere, a grocery store, wait for an old lady to come by and say, "Ma'am, my daughter's ready to have her period. You know, tell me what I'm supposed to buy."
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I was a little different. My mom, Mama Torrero, boy, she taught me young about the birds and the bees. So I got yeah, but nevertheless, yeah, I know what you're talking about. You know, it's a choice that you're making. So if you choose this business, then you have to choose it for the right reasons. Like in anything in life, you got to choose it for the right reasons.
That same thing with I was invited to the Union Rescue Mission 35 years ago, Easter, as a celebrity.
Well, you are a celebrity.
So, and the CEO watched me with the people there, and he says, I never saw anybody. They hung on every scripture, every word. And he said, would you like to do a service? And then L.A. Mission, Fred Jordan.
Fantastic.
And then at the L.A. County Jail, an inmate came out, and he said the Union Rescue Mission Spiritual Growth Program, he calls the chaplain, who is a big Bruce Lee fan.
Right.
He said, stick the assassins ministering down here. So I went there, and we went to Rahway, New Jersey.
Wonderful.
And level 4s in New York,
right.
New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Florida, Alabama, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Washington, Oregon. So I've been all over, even in Ireland I went.
You're like doing the Johnny Cash circuit, but you're preaching the Word of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see, it's a calling.
Yeah.
And
well, it's like acting. It's a calling too, isn't it?
And it's funny how I never drank or did drugs, but yet God put me where all that happens.
I can relate to that.
And then I usually play villain roles, but yet my legacy is with the ministry.
Yeah, that's going to be your legacy.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful legacy.
Over 160,000.
There you go, my friend.
Prayed salvation prayer.
That's absolute. See, that's what a legacy is built on.
Yeah.
Some goodness like that. So give out the website that the fans can follow you and see everything you're doing. I know you're on IMDb because everybody's on that, so you can go check it out there.
And please, everyone, go to Mil's IMDb, like it, and check out all his latest projects he's got coming out.
IMDb, everybody, IMDb.com.
Yeah, they got
Mel Novak.
They got the wrong birth date on there. They messed it up. There's nothing I can do about it.
No, you know, when someone puts it in.
But it's www.MELNOVAK.com.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stuff on there. There's a prayer. I've given over 200,000 spiritual warfare prayer.
Yeah, and I went to that, and I like the mixture of your site.
Yeah.
The entertainment and ministry, and it kind of meshes together really nice.
Yeah, I led two directions to the Lord, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's like a miracle.
Do you have a big social media presence, like an Instagram site or a Facebook? Facebook
just
site?
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook.com/Mel Novak? Is that what it is, Joe?
Yes, it's Mel Novak Facebook.
Okay. All right. Just put them up there so you can follow your career.
Williamson Management.
What is
The Williamson Management.
Okay. And what's the website there?
It's on Facebook.
Okay.
And on IMDb
as well. Joe's one of the best. Joe is one of the best in town. Love Joe.
Yeah, it's my best friend.
He's one of the best. Absolutely. So, hey, look, man, we have come to the end of the show. It's so fast. It's so cool. I'm so pleased to have you hanging out with me.
That was my pleasure.
You know, and I wanted to get into a lot more video here, but the next time you come, I'm going to play like an hour of all your stuff, little clips here and there. Yeah, my IT guy, Lee Michaels, will be back, and he's a little more proficient with this. He made all of this.
We'll make another time, just, you know, where I can coordinate it, Yeah,
because I want the folks to actually see a lot of your stuff, and I'm sorry I couldn't do that today.
That's all right.
But this was really important.
I think, now the groundwork is laid.
Absolutely, and so now we both have to head down the 405 freeway. Again, a terrible mess. Let me start the music up. Hey, it's Mel Novak, everybody. Mel Novak on AVTV Live and the Digital Broadcasting TV Network, Jesse T. The Jesse T Show, right here, Monday through Friday from 5 to 6, every day of the week. And we play the best of the Jesse T Show on Saturday and Sunday. So that's what we do. I'm going to hit this button over here. It's my goodness. I learned quick. Bring out the end there. But Mel, anything you want to say in parting?
To the people, God loves you with an everlasting love. Jeremiah 31:3.
Absolutely. I was hoping you would say some passages. I really would. Got another one?
Yeah. A lot of walking wounded, hurting people. Psalm 147:3, God says, I will heal the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds. In Jeremiah 30:17, I will restore health to you and heal you of your wounds. You got to take it to the Lord. The wounds aren't going to go away.
And we need a lot of healing in our country and our world today.
Yes,
more than ever before in my lifetime. Short 57 years, you know, I've seen things change, and good people like you doing what you do. I really appreciate your stuff outside of your entertainment career. I really appreciate you doing that. We need people like that. Hey, everybody, thanks. We'll be back with you live and right Monday through Thursday. We're live. On Friday, we're out there road tripping with Dan the Man. And we got Wound Up on Wednesday. We talk the issues of the day, straight shooting, straight talk, and the world according to Torrero. For thepowervoices.com, facebook.com/Jesse Torrero. Also, YouTube Live, Jesse Torrero. We're posting up everywhere now. Mel Novak, yeah! Finally! I don't want you to come in 2 more years. Will you come back?
Oh, yes. Before the end of the year.
God bless you. Thanks a lot,
If there's time for me.
If you got it, I'll make it. Mel Novak, everybody. The Brown Beauty's off duty. See ya!